Rooney Roo. Hey. I don't know, something that rhymes with Roo.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to go straight into the intro, and I was like, oh, I'm going to stand back and let this pony ride.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think I'm going to say, no, Candace. I believe you take those reins and ride us into the corral.
Okay, no one makes better horse clippity-clopping sounds than my friend Jess with a couple of 8 ounces.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
It entertains
Styrofoam.
the children and makes you feel like you're on a real horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jumping in the line.
Yeah.
Horse riding time.
Mm-hmm. Rock your body in time.
Exactly.
Okay.
I believe you. You guys are so lucky. You have run into us, Candace and Jess, and we are judging a book by its cover. On our show, Candace and Jess judge a book by its cover. I'm Candace.
And I am Jess. I don't know why I said it like that. I feel
Sometimes
like
it's like you don't believe it.
yeah, I don't believe that this is what
I can't believe this is really me.
I can't believe this is me. I can't believe this is my life. Where did it all go?
So
Not
it's
necessarily right or wrong, but I'm just saying, where did it all go?
This isn't my beautiful wife.
And the days go by.
Yeah, like in a total different. That's the remix. It's just like a very angry. You know, I was watching the Toys That Made Us, which is the Netflix special that's out right now.
Yeah.
And they were talking about the Ken doll, and they said it wasn't until the 90s that the eyebrows lowered and the face or the neck widened. Got really thick. She's like, it wasn't until the 90s those eyebrows lowered and the neck got really thick. And I just took a look around, and I was like, that really happened in the 90s.
Yeah, it was Toy Ken hitting puberty,
Yeah.
I suppose.
And I don't know why that reminds me of the song spoken in the... I guess that's just how I imagine that guy being like, this is not my beautiful house. This is not my wonderful wife.
This is not my lowered eyebrows and thick neck.
Where did this come from? This is a Barbie makeover.
Oh
my gosh.
Slap some more super Sculpey around my shoulders.
Yeah. Plastic lives.
Yeah. I remember I used to read a lot of, on the subject of toys, I used to read a lot of Wizard magazine when I was a kid. And that's a lot of, it wasn't actually about wizards, which, you know, yeah. I don't know. I started reading it because I wanted to see, they would cast movies.
Okay.
They would be like, oh, it's the Simpsons movie, but it's live action, and here's who we would get to play each of the characters. And I was young and stupid, and I thought that these were actual movies that were happening, and I got really excited until I realized it was just like they were making it up.
Yeah, the Flintstones was the only one for you. That's
yeah.
That was actually a decent live action.
That was the height of my cartoon to real life. That worked.
Experience?
That was great.
Yeah.
Everything else after that's like, no, that doesn't count or anything like that. And I'm pretty sure that in every movie, the villain should be Rob Lowe, who I'm pretty sure is the villain in that, wasn't he?
Rob Lowe sounds like a real lowlife. No, he doesn't. I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh, Jess. You know, something has been coming up in my life a lot lately, which is cannibalism.
Oh.
Yeah. And sorry to tell you, but you kind of started that ball rolling.
Yeah, well, I was just trying to like, get the talking, you get the conversation going. And what better way to do that than to talk about eating people?
There's an explanation behind this. Everybody, don't get weirded out or anything. There's no silly business happening over here at Candace and Jess judge books by their cover, just judgment. But I just, some weird things have been happening. Silence of the Lambs is getting talked about a lot. I work with somebody who I felt was a bit murdery.
Okay.
This is a feeling I had about someone, Jess. I was like, I feel like this person is a bit murdery. I like it.
Yeah.
She's like weird and special.
Yeah.
You know me. I like to make little jokes, and I'm like, she's a serial killer.
But they can't shake the feeling that, you know what? They might eat me. Just I don't know if they're just gonna like take make a couple finger sandwiches. I'll take a couple of the useless
Phalanges.
ones. Yeah.
Sounds like a fruit. I'm a little bit nervous talking about this, so if I speed up in my speech and I'm racing through, it's because I'm terrified and I'm going to run through this idea I'm going to spin at you.
You're just going to run through this jungle.
Like it's going to run through the jungle like a spin class of fear. Just rolling to nowhere as fast as I can, thinking about something that truly scares me, which is people eating people. Anyways, thought, hey, she's murdery. Maybe made a joke to one girl who doesn't work there. Just a really close friend. So I had laid the ground a bit about this.
Yeah.
And then you ask me that, cannibal question, which we may one day let all of you hear in a segment that we are not releasing yet. But, hey, I'm closing the store I work at, putting stuff away. This girl happens to see me for 10 minutes that day. The girl I think is murdery, perhaps.
Was it like just earlier on in the day?
It was actually at the very end of the day,
okay,
where we didn't work together all day, but we come back to the same place on the very hip of the day, which I guess is the middle of the day, and then we slide down to the ankle for dinner away from each other.
Yeah.
Oh, more body references. Creeping me out.
I actually really enjoyed that reference in talking about how the day is like a person, and you get to the hip of the day, and then the slide down to the ankle where you eat dinner is like that's such a very strange take on mass transit or just even a walk home,
especially accidentally.
Yeah.
But she sees me for just a short time. We don't know each other very well. Let me add that in. Like, I've worked with her a handful of times. I've had this hilarious thought, murderer, She gets right up behind me without me knowing and whispers, "Hello, Clarice." Breathily into my ear, and I feel it. Like, I usually can, I'm expecting the unexpected. You know me.
Yeah.
That's something that could happen. I wanted to be like, my name's Candace, but I understood the reference.
Mm-hmm.
And it chilled me. And then I stood up and I was like, I don't know what to do. And then as I walked home, I listened to one of my very favorite podcasts of all time, which is Risk. They're usually really funny stories. The story I listened to on the way home referenced Silence of the Lambs.
Damn.
And then went on down this rabbit hole. I was like, okay, it's getting dark. Ooh, it's getting darker.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some human flesh was ingested. I don't want to spoil anything. I won't go any further into what,
At the very least, some fava beans.
Like, they make that joke in the the Risk episode. And it's usually so lighthearted and funny. And I'm like racing home because my best friend in the whole world's in town. So she had arrived earlier to my house.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, my favorite funny podcast is going into a place I really loved, by the way. I thought the story was awesome. But
yeah.
I actually am terrified of cannibalism.
And
I'm terrified of it.
If I may say, that is 100% a very I'd say that'd be a reasonable thing to be afraid of. Getting eaten by another person or eating another person. Like, I mean, that's very strange. That's not cool.
Thanks for being there for me, Jess.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So, Candace.
Yes, Jess.
I can't help but notice, looking in through the Skype screen here, through the Skype call, I noticed you got a book in your hands. And I am curious to death about...
Are you ready to let everyone know that we're just on Skype and we're not actually together in the podcast basement? Because I don't think I'm ready to let people know that.
Well, you see, this is the thing. We are in the podcast basement, but...
Right.
It is set up so, for whatever reason, because of my prima donna nature towards this creative experience that you and I are doing, I demand that we do all of our recordings through a Skype call. You are sitting right next to me in the basement, but I do not wish to turn my head or anything like that. I wish to stare and speak with you through a screen.
And that way you get to see yourself at the same time as well,
yes,
which is really important to Jess.
Yeah, it's also it's partially my bird-like nature. So you have a book, I noticed.
Yeah, I do have a book right here in my hands through the screen next to you. I'm thrilled about this book. It was suggested to me by...
Here, you're hitting me with it.
Oh,
Candace, this is too much.
that is out of control, but I'll do it again if you ever say that we're not in the same place together.
I
Because-
perish the thought.
That's what he always does. He's just like, yeah, he pretends that everything is through Skype with this guy. Even when he goes to the drive-thru, he's like, hey, do you mind picking up the Skype call on your cellular device? And they're like, I'm not allowed to have my phone while I work. He's like, download the app or I'm not ordering the coffee.
Yeah, you listen here, Trevor.
I'm
Tired of your shit, and all I want is my double-double.
Oh, no.
Answer the fucking Skype call.
I hit you with this book so much that the cover has come right off.
Oh, no. Oh, we'll have to
But
get
that's
some...
okay. I can just judge it by holding this cover. Who needs
I mean, you still
paper?
got the most important part,
Yeah,
which is the cover.
Can you hear that?
Yeah. Oh,
That's all that matters.
And it created such a lovely little breeze. That was fantastic.
Fantastic. Guys, this book was suggested to me by a boss of mine. He said,
Ooh.
you have to read this book, The Last Canadian.
Thank you,
I
boss.
said, thank you, boss. I will buy it. I went out looking for it, and I couldn't find it anywhere. I went onto Amazon, and they were selling copies for $1,100.
Really?
Yes.
Damn.
True story. And I thought, this book must be good.
Yeah.
But I'm going to wait and see if I can find it at Pulp Fiction or any of the other wonderful used bookstores around, used and new bookstores around Vancouver.
For a second, I thought you were going to say that you were going to wait until the price comes down and just get it then. Get it at a cool, just
800.
900, 800. Yeah. Something
I was
like
looking for that discount. Mm-hmm. No, I ended up finding the book in East Vancouver and scooping it up and never reading it. So I thought judging it would be just almost as good or better.
And very, very appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this book is called The Last Canadian, as I said. It is written by William C. Hine. All that we see on the cover here is a man walking off into the far right side of the page. And instantly looking at this, I see that there's footprints behind him in the snow. I want to say, where is he going without ever knowing the way? Maybe he's listening to Fastball on his headphones.
Or maybe he's walking down the street in Winnipeg.
See, that's what I mean. Is this cover of this book is really like, it's got this bluish tinge to it to show you like the definition in the snow, because it's just like completely snow, with him walking through it, his feet behind him. In the top left corner, it just says terrifying.
Oh.
Like Terry flying? No, terrifying. We got those, my favorite Mark Messier and the Great One quotes up there. Mm-hmm. And there I go again. I will never not express it that way, I guess.
Now, Candace, I just realized something that you did you did make a reference to in a previous book that you've judged. And you said the Mark Messier and Wayne Gretzky.
I did that. Yep.
What is that? Because I realized that I was just like, oh yeah, the last time, and now you said it again. And I'm all like, what is? What? How did they? How many fingers do those boys have their pies connected to? You know what I mean?
Oh, pies. Terrifying. That's what this says here. What it means, Jess, is quotations.
Okay.
66 was Mark Messier's number, and 99 was Wayne Gretzky's. So it's just like a joke about quotations that my 5th grade English teacher said to me.
Okay.
And, right around that time was the whole I bet you can't eat just one Mark Messier campaign.
Yeah. for
he
ladies.
was kind of like a heartthrob. I don't really remember what he looks like, but I knew that like he was kind of like the cute hockey player, I guess.
Was he?
I don't know. I think maybe I'm just from like a weird place, and like my cousins definitely thought he was cute. I think I was still a little bit too young. I was like, Simba's the only man for me.
Yeah.
watch him do this stuff. He grows up as he walks and gets a mane and all that. But that's what that is, Jess.
Okay. Yeah. I you said it the first time, and I was like, yeah, totally. Yeah. Didn't I never thought about that. Of course, I didn't know. I knew that
What I was talking about.
Yeah, I knew
At
Wayne
all.
Gretzky was like 99. Yeah, I know that. Being Canadian, you just
You know what?
that.
Imagine Mark Messier isn't 66.
Oh.
I really think he is, but imagine just how embarrassed would I be?
Well, we'll write a note, and then we'll
find out, and if we're wrong, we'll say sorry
Yeah,
in our
yeah.
apologies for everything segment.
Yeah.
Our gift to you.
Mark Messier is Canadian, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Don't Messier with him.
I feel like I should probably know that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's kind of like, I was really into Kurt Browning, which was a figure skater when I was young.
Yeah.
And like I remember where he's from. I remember I think he's from Merritt, which is like
Oh.
a big deal for Merritt.
I've
Shout
been-
out to Merritt. I
Yeah.
love your hilly land.
I found your water to taste funny.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was in Merritt and I couldn't bear it. That
Yeah.
isn't I made that up right now.
Yeah,
That
it was
wasn't
actually a pretty good time in Merritt. I partied my face off outside of Merritt in a field, but
Oh, with the Merritt ferret.
I did not see. Okay.
The thing is you don't see him.
Might have seen him. Don't know. I was had some party favors.
Yeah, no, the Merritt ferret is kind of one of those more felt than seen things. But
Yeah.
I'm getting the feeling, since you don't know what I'm talking about, that you definitely were engulfed in ferret.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think you probably, in regards to the Merritt ferret, instead
Yeah.
of it more felt than seen, it was more pelt than seen.
oh my god, I'm never gonna get back to this book. This is
And with that, back to our regular
back to a regular.
book.
I'm gonna do the same thing. I don't know what I'm saying.
I can't words, but
I can't words.
you were talking about The Last Canadian.
Yeah, and I was just expressing that, it says terrifying on it. It's very snowy. There's someone walking through the snow. We can't see them very well. They're kind of a dark, shadowy man from a dark, shadowy planet up there.
I believe that's called trudging through the snow.
It says The Last Canadian in big red letters, which I actually really like. Like, you guys get to the Twitter page as soon as you can to take a look at this book. It is so ripe for the judging.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the things I think about as soon as I look at this is this frame is really small. Like, I kind of believe he's the last one, but there could be people, like...
Just on the outside there.
Yeah, like, it doesn't really... This photo doesn't give me the feeling of the last. It kind of gives me the feeling of someone thinking they're the last.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden they're going to be named Tandy for no reason. They didn't start the show with that name, but they're going to end it with that name. And they're just walking off into the distance. That's confusing to me, but we're just here to judge, so
Yeah.
I don't have to worry too much.
No. There are no rules in the judgment court.
No, and like, obviously, because it says terrifying above this man, I'm assuming that something not so,
Good.
good is going to happen to him. But at the same time, he looks really bundled. He looks totally ready for this weather. We don't know if he has headphones on. We don't know if he has a packed sandwich in his pocket.
That could be the terrifying part.
So instead of reading this book, Jess, I made some notes
Ooh.
about William C. Hine, because I was more interested in him, to be honest. Because if this is him...
The man behind the story. So you're saying this could be William C. Hine's own story.
It could be, for all I know.
A true account.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
He is Canadian. Found that out right away. So
Yeah.
he very well could be the last Canadian. He is dead, unfortunately.
Oh.
Something really interesting. he was born in 1919 and died in 1991.
Oh,
That's a lot of 9s and 1s.
Yeah.
That's like your lucky number. Like my lucky number is 18 because I was born on the 18th, just like you, buddy.
Yeah, 18s.
18, Club 18. But that's kind of sad. Like, it's like his life, he'd been like, oh, 19's my lucky number. But then he dies in the 19 as well. It's like,
Yeah. Did he die? Oh, that's given me a curious thing for me to think about while you explain the next fact about him.
okay. So, I don't know about that word facts, but we're trying our very best. One thing I did also find out is that he established the William C. Klein Fellowship for the International Media Studies in Western Ontario.
Ooh.
Thanks, bud.
Thanks, bud. Thanks, Willie.
Yeah. Oh, Willie, see?
Yeah. I had a question about the whole, like, 1919,
Yeah.
died in 1991.
Yeah.
I was really hoping that he lived to 91 years old. He did
Ooh.
not. It was 72. So,
Okay, wait, 72.
yeah.
I feel like this book was written in 72.
Oh.
Yeah, how could he have died? Okay, no, wait. I'm wrong. I don't know anything. Whew, numbers.
But if you
Get-
divide 72 by 9, you get 8.
He was also born on the 23rd of November. No, that's not true either.
And one thing we know about every Canadian is that they all eat.
Yeah,
Yep, they do.
they all eat.
Yeah, that's true. You can look that up on the internet, everybody.
I'll wait while you check that
Mm-hmm.
and find out that that's very true, that all Canadians eat, and if they don't last very long.
They definitely do not.
Yeah, the 21st of November he was born. So 21 plus 11, 91. Great. Everything works out. We got
Yay.
91s across the board.
There
Don't
we
even
go.
think about it, Jess. It's
Yeah,
just
not
true.
even gonna. You're way faster on the math than I am.
So, another fucking weird thing about this is The Last Canadian was released in the United States as well, of course, as I think we probably release books in both countries
So what
quite
you're
often.
so is there an American version of The Last Canadian?
I would assume it's the exact same version, but
Oh.
it's called, get this, it's called Deathwind.
For real?
For fucking real.
Wow.
The American release of The Last Canadian is called Deathwind.
Aw,
Is that really what they think of us?
yeah. That we're just windy dead people?
That was me like dying in the wind, I guess.
I
More
mean, I
like-
guess if the wind was strong enough.
Is that like a rodeo wind, or is it like, I don't know, man. Like, that blew my mind to think that The Last Canadian is just simply Deathwind in the States.
Yeah, I don't approve of that. The United States. What are you doing?
Yeah, like I feel like the name Deathwind gives me a lot more feelings, especially combining the Last Canadian name with Deathwind. I'm starting to kind of put things together that maybe this is apocalyptic in some way.
Or maybe it's it's like part 2 of the book.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's the
but
whole.
it's not. It's the same release.
Oh, okay. I was kind of hoping.
Keep going. I don't want to take that from you.
A hopeful, wishful moment that the book was The Last Canadian: Deathwind.
Always get me with that colon.
And he's the last Canadian, and he has been dubbed the Wind of Death, or Deathwind.
He's deathly afraid of the wind.
Mm-hmm. He is also that, which, which I guess that'd be agoraphobic. Probably not the best thing for being the last.
No, agoraphobia is a fear. Is it a fear of going outside? I thought it was a fear of crowds. So that's kind of perfect to be the last.
I thought agoraphobia. I thought it was.
All right,
fear
all
of
you wonderful listeners at home,
the fear of
please
going
tweet at
outside.
us.
Yeah. Unless
could be
it's angoraphobic, which is fear of rabbits. No, it's not.
I'm
That's...
Gloria-phobic. Fear of grandmas named Gloria.
Specifically.
But I actually really love the name Gloria. And I knew a grandma named Gloria and loved her. So
would you
lies.
Would you consider that name glorious?
Yes. Jess, I got some more information for you here.
Ooh, hit me with it.
I have a movie to watch tonight
That,
because apparently this book inspired a movie
ooh.
I have never seen, but maybe you have.
Okay, is it called Deathwind, or is it?
No. Can you guess what it is? I know you just guessed, and you're probably going to guess The Last Canadian as well.
Yeah, that would kind of be my next logical guess.
Nope, neither of those. Can you give me another guess? Starts with a P, ends with a T.
Okay, I was gonna guess Strange Brew, which is a
Nice.
a Canadian movie.
We're going to have to drink our way out of this podcast because we have done fucked up.
P.T. Probably Terrence, and it's named after the guy in The Last Canadian whose name is probably Terrence, but he doesn't know.
Right. No, but really good try.
Oh, okay.
That was awesome. That was awesome work there, Jess.
Thank you.
It's The Patriot.
Okay, for real?
Yeah. Have you seen that movie?
Like the Mel Gibson movie. Is it Mel Gibson?
I don't think it is, but like...
I thought it was Mel Gibson in The Patriot.
Well, that old fire truck was coming to scoop me up because it was like, it's getting hot in that podcasting basement.
The podcasting den.
Yeah. I'm really excited to watch it. Imagine I was wrong. No, it's The Patriot.
The Patriot.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out which one it was because there is a lot of them, but The Patriot. So I'm going to watch that movie, see if it gives me any kind of more hints to what's inside this book without reading it, because that's really what I want in this world, is just to know everything without even scratching the surface.
Yeah, that's very...
Give it to me now. Yeah, The Patriot. I didn't think it was a 2000 film. I thought it was older than that. But Mel Gibson, Heath Ledger, Jolie Richardson, Jason Isaacs, Chris Cooper. It runs for 2 hours and 44 minutes if you wanted to know.
Oh, and this one is The Last Canadian, or Deathwind.
Apparently this sparked... I think it's probably not directly from.
There was some... there's probably some Mel Gibson liberties.
Yeah, if I know Mel, there definitely is. But all around, I've had such a great time, like owning this book and never reading it and moving it from home to home. It's been a slice. It's been a trudge through the snow, and yeah, I couldn't be happier to have this book in my hands right now.
Yeah, it sounds like quite a gem of a find.
Also, you know how I mentioned how expensive it was when I searched it on the cover of the and I ended up spending $30 or something. Maybe it was 25 or something. But the amount that is listed, like, this is always so funny. Like, Arizona cans, like the iced tea.
Yeah.
How they have like 99 cents actually printed on their label.
Yeah.
But then people will sell them for more.
Yeah.
Well, this book has $1.50 printed on it. And that just cracks me up because someone just puts a big yellow sticker on top of it. The markup, it has gone up, people.
That is quite the markup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want in that business.
The selling...
I just can't believe that. The U.S. release of this novel was titled Deathwind. Like, what? That is so good. Oh, and also the publisher of this book is Pocket Book of Canada, which I think is adorable. And it was published in 1974.
There we go.
I said that for some reason. I don't know why.
I believe you said 1972.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to save us, having...
To apologize.
Yeah, too many apologies. Yeah.
But, yes, Jess.
Well, you answered... I was going to ask you a couple questions about the book, but you sort of answered at least one of them. And that was, when was this book written? We just found that out.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the 1974. And who would you recommend this book to?
I would recommend this book for, well, it depends what book. I'm only talking about The Last Canadian. I'm not talking about Deathwind. I don't own a copy of the American release, so I can't really suggest that book. And just so everyone knows that The Patriot would be an adaptation.
Oh, okay.
So it's 1998, not 2000. And it is an adaptation. You know what? You were right because of Mel.
Yeah.
But this original one was Steven Seagal.
For real? Wait.
Oh, Steven Seagal? Ah! Yeah,
Well,
for real.
If okay. I rarely say this, but I want to read this book now.
Yeah?
Well, I mean, because
I want to read it too. Let's both read it.
Yeah, I mean, if it's going into like, oh yeah, well, who did this? Oh no, it was adapted into a 1998 movie starring Steven Seagal. Have you ever seen a Steven Seagal movie?
Is he in Soylent Green?
No, that is Charlton Heston.
Oh,
Charlton
it is.
Heston? Yeah.
Yeah, and actually when you were doing the scalpel, that I'm referring to a podcast we recorded a few times ago, so our second episode, when you were reading Scalpel, the back that you had created,
Yeah.
I imagined Heston, and I was like, you just got to get your chin out, and you're like, no, I've never been a cash register kind of guy, but yeah. So Jess, we've got a couple movies to watch, we got a couple books to read. This has been.
That was a fantastic. I love it. The Last Canadian.
The Last Canadian, and I would suggest this book as you were asking before I went on that tangent. I would suggest this book to anyone, especially Canadians, because you got to find out if you are the last one, right? Like it could be any of us, so you better go in and read, and make sure your name isn't on here. Or else you're losing everybody. I'd rather just go out with the flock, if you know what I mean.
Or go out with the death wind.
Rodeo wind, rodeo star. You know, I actually take that back. I don't think I want to go out with everybody. I would be okay with being the last one. But I'm just saying that.
Yeah.
Because I want to be open to anything.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'd like to be the last one. I think that'd be kind of lonely and sad.
I just don't think you could ever really know if you were or not.
Yeah.
Like, how are you to say you're the last?
That's true.
So it would be, something else I think of when I look at this cover is that Proclaimers tune. I would walk is it only 1,000 miles?
500 miles an hour.
Right, so it's 1,000 together.
It's 1,000 total.
More. Yeah, that's
unless, of course, that song by the Proclaimers is actually every single time that they say that I would walk 500 miles, I would walk 500 more, that they're adding them all up throughout the whole song.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I
so
don't know.
So they're like, when I wake up from walking 5,000, I will walk 1,000 more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or 500. Right. I get my math wrong when I'm thinking about that song every time.
We were just quoting the song. We don't
improperly.
Well.
And that's what we do here at Candace and Jess Judge a Book by its cover. Don't judge us too harshly, because this is not meant to be a serious time.
No. Have some fun, people. Let your hair down. Yeah.
My hair is down. Jess's hair is down. We're sitting next to each other, face to face on computers. I'll be your mirror kind of situation.
It's like we're having a friendly game of Future Battleship on our laptops, but
I love Battleship.
I always think every single time, like I walk past like a cafe, and I see two people on their laptops and they're facing each other, but they're clearly not, interacting or talking to each other. But every single time I see like the two laptops facing each other, I'm like, good for them for playing. Good for them for playing Battleship. Like, bring it back, bring it back into the new era, into the new age, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's I believe in you, children of 2018.
Yeah.
Don't you ever forget about Battleship.
Yeah.
You can play it online on Pogo. You can play your friends online on Pogo, and I love it.
Cool.
Yeah, it's got some good sound effects. You can type to your friends and be like, I'm gonna fucking sink you. Yeah, I don't know. But don't get me started on Battleship. Or we'll have to just, turn
Bab-
the podcast lights down and go sign on to Pogo, make some accounts, and battle the night away.
There we go. Hide the ships.
Hide your wives, because we're battling everybody out here.
Candace. Coming up next. Sorry, before I leap ahead.
That's okay. We're done.
Are we? Is there anything else you want to say about The Last Canadian, or that's the final thoughts? We're done.
Well, I don't think I'm ever really going to have a final thought on this book. I have really been carrying it around with me and thinking about it a lot. And thank you. Thank you for letting me judge this book today, Jess.
I really enjoyed.
No.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank us.
Yeah. Do it.
That takes us right into our sponsors of the day, actually.
Yeah, coming up next, we got the sponsors for the show. Which, I mean, this is actually where
we will put the sponsors.
Where we will put sponsors. We'll fill in. We'll get printouts for them to be like, hey, talk about the fact that our clothes or socks are awesome and
right,
and or there's a site that can do your taxes real good or something, and we're like, hey,
instead of just talking about my undies, I'll be saying me undies.
Yeah, or
that's such a weird name.
Yeah, I've heard it a lot in the podcasts I listen to, and I still get tempted by it. I'm like, well, why don't I? That could be a thing, or like mattresses or something like that. I mean, I just got a mattress.
Casper.
Yeah.
We love listening to NPR and getting the same ads all the time.
Yeah. Or listening to a bunch of them that are like, clearly they are American products, and being a Canadian, we can't get them.
The Last Canadian. That's problems for us.
Yeah. So that's a little.
Oh, that death wind blowing us over. I'm thrilled. I am really thrilled about that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. The Last Canadian released in America is called Deathwind.
Deathwind. That's
I don't know why it's so funny. It just is. It just doesn't make any sense.
I think it is. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah. Like when I read that today, I was supposed to be training in my job, and I was doing research about a book that I was later to judge, and I was just losing my mind over that.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that's all we have today. Sorry to yell at you, but I'm fucking excited to get out of this basement. This has been Candace and Jess Judge a Book by its cover. I am Candace.
And I am Jess.
That is Jess.
Right across the table from Candace, who is
buddy.
right there. If you guys want to get a hold of us...
We know you do.
And we know you do, because you've come this far. Hop on to Twitter and give us a follow at Candace and Jess, and you'll get to see our books, all the covers. We're gonna pop them up there, and some other zany, crazy crap when we decide to do that too. It'll be there.
Yeah.
Keep in the loop.
Please feel free to judge these books for yourself and keep all of your opinions to yourself.
Now,
I kid.
Candace, I'm not even gonna shout out to get that music queued up to go. I'm just gonna put it on because I had so much fun. I had so much fun doing it last time.
Oh,
So-
yeah, you're great at it.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I can throw it on now, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool.
Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. Podcast.